Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. The Independent National Electoral Commission has admitted that last Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections raised a number of issues that would require immediate, medium, and long-term solutions. The Commission's chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, made the admission this past Saturday in Abuja at a meeting with resident electoral commissioners. Arise correspondent Chinaza Samuel reports.
247, 248, 200.
Exactly 1 week after the presidential and National Assembly elections, Chairman of the electoral body INEC meets resident electoral commissioners to review the performance of the commission at the previous elections, admitting that the polls were marred with a myriad of challenges ranging from logistics, insecurity to technology and staff conduct. Chairman of the commission says lessons have been learned.
The planning for the election was painstakingly done. However, its implementation came with challenges, some of them unforeseen. A lot of lessons have been learned.
He assures Nigerians that subsequent elections will be better.
As we approach the governorship and state assembly elections, we must work harder to overcome the challenges experienced in the last election. Nothing else will be acceptable to Nigerians. All staff found to be negligent, whether they are regular or ad hoc officials, including collation and returning officers, must not be involved in the forthcoming elections. Arising from last week's election, the Commission has received reports from our state offices, as well as complaints and petitions from political parties and candidates. Where infractions of any kind are proven, there will be redress.
The presidential flag bearer of the governing All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, was declared winner with 8.7 million votes to defeat his closest rival, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, who scored 6.9 million votes to emerge second, and Labour Party's Peter Obi, who scored 6.1 million votes to come third. Winners have also been declared for the 423 national legislative seats. In the Senate, 7 political parties have won 98 out of 109 senatorial seats. The APC will occupy 57 senatorial seats. The PDP has 29, while the Labour Party has 6. NMPP has 2, ABGA has 1, SDP has 2, and the YPP has just 1 seat at the moment. While in the House of Representatives, 325 out of the 360 seats have been won by 8 political parties, making it the most diverse National Assembly since 1999. The APC has 162 seats, while the PDP has 102 seats. Labour Party has 34 seats, while the NNPP has 18 seats in the lower chamber. ABGA has 4 seats, while the ADC has 2. SDP has 2, and the YPP occupies just 1 seat at the lower chamber until the supplementary elections are conducted in the remaining 46 constituencies.
Certificates of return will be presented to senators-elect on Tuesday, 7th March 2023 at 11 a.m. at the National Collation Center, which is the International Conference Center here in Abuja, while members of the House of Representatives-elect will receive theirs the following day, Wednesday, 8th March 2023 at 11 a.m. at the same venue.
With 1 week until the governorship and State House of Assembly elections, INEC is assuring Nigerians that the bimodal voter accreditation system, better known as BVAS, will once again be deployed for the accreditation and results management, as it has intensified the review of the technology to ensure a glitch-free process. Chinaza Samuel, Arise News.
All right, Steve Ayorinde, INEC has assured Nigerians, it is refreshing that they have come out right before the election, at least a week before the elections, saying that they are going to, run an internal review again. They have admitted technical failures as well as logistics. They've also blamed personnel. But can you really say that Nigerians are going to trust the INEC with this statement?
Well, first thing first, it is the right thing for INEC to do. First, to promise that the elections of next week, Saturday, will be a lot better than the elections of last week, Saturday. It is the proper thing to do because to fail to acknowledge that there were issues last Saturday will mean that INEC is totally, out of the game. There were issues clearly, and it is because of those issues that a number of the aggrieved parties and political, parties and candidates are going to court. Now, the question will be, if INEC has admitted that there were issues and is promising that beavers will work and that there will be transmission or transfer of results to its high rev as containing its guidelines on Saturday,
Yes.
the 11th of March. The question, therefore, will be what went wrong and why are you not able to accept full responsibility? Because this, in my view, will be part of what will be tendered in court to say that INEC conducted a better gubernatorial and House of Assembly election if it turns out to be better than the presidential and the National Assembly. And it will be a valid point for the court, up to the Supreme Court, to look at. So, as INEC performed well, the jury is still out.
Yes.
I'm not sure if the sort of pass mark that INEC was hoping for is the type that it's getting.
Yeah.
People are basically like, okay, let's move on, a few people, but others, maybe in the majority, because the political map from last Saturday shows anyway that those who didn't vote for the eventual winner were far more in excess than those who voted him in.
Absolutely.
So that's the mood of the nation, and the reading of many people will be that if you have the capacity to be promising a better election on Saturday for the governorship and the House of Assembly, why can't you simply look at the issues of last Saturday and say that maybe it was not up to what we promised that we would deliver, and therefore that election
Absolutely, and conduct that review that a lot of the aggrieved opposition leaders have, pointed out.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe also the INEC chairman pointed out the issue of personnel.
Yes.
He also said that the personnel had been compromised. Polling agents were, probably collecting bribe or whatever, and if found guilty, they will be made to face the law.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is the most important thing here, because I believe also Festus Okoye had talked about the issue of overvoting way before the election. He had said, the beavers would work, but one thing that they cannot assure us is personnel. I mean, because the reason why they may be overvoting is the issue of, maybe these polling agents manipulating the results. I mean, if this is the case, why can't they conduct an internal review? And if you recall, in Lagos alone, there's a wreck that they have been talking about, trying to have him removed. I believe his name is Agbaje. In Lagos.
He's actually the INEC, the commissioner in Lagos.
Absolutely. A lot of people believe that he's been compromised. They've been talking about it. They've been calling for his removal. These are the things that we want to see from INEC. We want to see that they have already, apprehended some of their personnel that were culpable in this manipulation of results. First, before, talking about technical glitches and all of that. And at the end of the day, really, it is the personnel that we have to look into.
Again, what is key is that INEC has admitted that last Saturday's elections were not the best. What it has not said, or it's tactically saying, is that those issues might not be sufficient to call for a total cancellation or a review midway in the process as its guidelines stipulate, and therefore they will expect people just to move on, carry on, and promising that next Saturday will be better. Will that suffice in court? That's what is yet to be seen.
But we can also talk about some of the gains. I believe Chinasa Samuel in that report mentioned that the National Assembly election is definitely the most diverse because we've seen results. You recall the Labour Party candidates, the Okada rider who won the seat and all of that. I mean, since 1999, we would say, I mean, this election, if we were to give a plus, that is the plus that we can give. I mean, the
electoral map is shaping up, particularly as it will affect the National Assembly. The National Assembly, the Parliament, will be very key to the survival of whoever becomes, whoever the president will be. I mean, we know the president-elect. But the map that we are seeing is that, yes, APC is still in the majority in both houses, red and green chambers. But then you see that the PDP still has a good chunk of elected, legislators. Labour Party has a sizable amount in the lower house, and I think about 6 or 7, of senators. For a party that this will be its first major shot at winning anything. Yes, it's been running since 1999, but this is its first major shot, at winning something. It has not done badly. NMPP too, ABGA is also there, SDP, scattered all around. What we do not know, however, is at what point in time will some of those opposition lawmakers be pulled in, be swallowed, by the behemoth that the ruling party represent, because you will find that people will decamp, people will cross carpet, people will move, to where they think that it looks like it's a lot better out there. So we don't know at what point that will happen. But for what we have now, it shows a good spread and it shows participation from different sides of the country.
Yeah, one thing we have to say is that INEC should be ready this weekend so that, Nigerians will trust them again, I believe.
Goes without saying.
Absolutely.